Hello, my name is John Spangle. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Underground, where represents I named the church. I named the channel Underground to represent the underground church that's present in China and Iran, and there's other places all over the world that the church is going underground. But there's so many people. I just got overwhelmed when I saw a video of a missionary got some Bibles over there in Chinese, and they were just crying and just holding, and that really got to me. Right now, I'm doing a series of videos about the Catholic Church. I was stressed that I have a lot of friends or belong to Catholic Church. A lot of people I have a lot of respect for. My best friend belongs to Catholic Church. Belonging mean that's what they decide to worship. But I do these videos to hope to get someone to listen to what I have to say and research on your own and step out of that, because I used to believe that we are saved. I do. We are saved by God's grace. And I thought, well, there's some people in the Catholic Church that are saved, but unfortunately, there are false teachings in the church. But the more I realize, the more I'm getting older and realize things, not at all. I don't believe you can be part of a Catholic Church now and be saved. I really don't. There's too many, dealing with idol worship and everything else, that it's wrong. So I'm trying to educate people to step out of that before it's too late for them. And this actually really goes to those that God had predestined, and which is a video I'm about to do later about free will and what we are predestined for and what predestined free will means. But this is titled "What the Pope Really Represents." So I looked at Matthew chapter 16, verses 18 and 19. And I say also unto thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And I will give thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt bind on the earth shall be bound in heaven, and whosoever shall loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. The Roman Catholic Church tradition holds that Jesus established Peter as the first pope using these two verses. But according to the Christian Church, the meaning called out, it's not building key, meaning a badge of honor. In other words, the key is a badge of honor for him. Everything is built on God, as we see later on, and God's grace, not on any person. Ephesians chapter 2, verses 19 and 20. Now therefore you are no more strangers or foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints and of the household of God, and are built upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets, Jesus Christ, himself being the chief cornerstone, meaning Jesus as above all else. We're part of the group Peter's part of the group that worked for Jesus, but Jesus is the cornerstone of everything. According to Wikipedia, there is no biblical or historical evidence for the claims of the Roman Catholic Church that Peter was the first pope. In fact, there is no evidence that there was even a pope in the first century. Even Catholic historians recognize this as a historical fact. So, we can go to other documentations and things and see first century they didn't have the Catholic Church. So, it wasn't until, I don't have the date here. I apologize. It was established at 300 something AD. The Catholic Church, really. I'll go more into the dates and times in a later video about that. And Constantine, who helped form the Catholic Church. The Roman Catholic Church states that the Pope represents a direct line back to Jesus. According to Catholic Church, the Pope has full, supreme, and universal power over the Church. The Pope is also the unifier of the people of God. I believe the Catholic Church adulterated Christianity, and to follow the Pope is to follow him to hell. I'm strongly about that. Never ending, unbending. You follow the Pope, you are on your way to hell. My best friend, one of his sisters, had talked. She was excited. She got to or was wanting to go over there and meet the Pope. And I'm like, you're lost. This Pope is nothing. Actually, the current Pope is, I believe, the false prophet. A lot of people think that in teaching scholars, they think we know the false prophet is going to be a pope, whether it be this pope or. But I believe that things are adding up so quick that it's this pope, even though he's old and has health issues. I believe this is the pope that helps usher in the Antichrist. They've already pushing for one world religion that's already being formed. So these are exciting times to live in. But the Pope is nobody. There's no when Jesus Christ died on the cross, the moment he gave up his life, he gave his life up. An earthquake happened. And in the temple, the Holy of Holies was separated by a curtain that was like 40 feet tall or something like that. It was rent. In other words, it was tore. But the way it was tore wasn't from bottom up, it was up from bottom. And like God's hand just ripped it down. Meaning, at that moment, because only the priest, I understand that priest would go in and represent the people for the year. Once a year, he'd go through rituals to cleanse himself and go in. Realize a lot of people don't teach. There's a rope that's tied around his waist. That's goes out the Holy of Holies to other priests. So if he don't show up and they don't know what's going on, he don't come out after a while, they'll drag his dead body out. So there's a reason for it. So I'm not saying that in the past priests haven't died. I don't know. God's presence, you can only be pure in front of him. Well, when that curtain was rent, that means we have direct access ourselves. Everybody. We don't have to go through a priest. And understand, the Jewish priest is not a Catholic priest. There's two night and day. They're not even close. The priesthood with Jewish priesthood was totally different, and what the Catholics try to make out. Catholics is Satan's way of making a false Christianity. I'm very against the Catholic Church. And so we have direct access. We don't need a pope. And as I said in a previous video, I gave reasons why we don't pray to Mary. She's the mother of God, yes. She was a special person. But that as far as it goes. There's verses that I've read that show that she's not above anybody else. She's not above me, not above you. And I explained that in a previous video. So if I stepped on anybody's toes, you just have to look at why my toe hurts. I mean, the reason being is because I'm following God's word, and I'm going to call out what's true and what's not true from my understanding. I don't mind people criticizing me. I worked at coal mine, had one of the guys kept asking me questions, and one of the other guys, don't you get mad at him criticizing you? And I was like, no, because it motivates me to go study, because I always get back with him to answer his question. If I don't, or I feel like I don't answer it the day before correctly or whatever, it keeps me on my toes, and that's what a Christian's to do. You're supposed to know the word. Unfortunately, with my memory issues, I constantly have to go back and read and study. That's why I have notes here. When I read off these notes, they're strictly how the King James Version Bible. If I write down here instead of I'd spend forever trying to find things in the Bible to get to. I used to have it memorized, all the books of the Bible. Now I mix them up a lot. So I look forward to making more videos, and hopefully piques someone's interest to go study on their own and learn on their own. Thank you.